Hello, everyone. My name is Melissa Carney, and I am an educational outreach consultant for Democracy Live. Today, I'll be walking you through a demo version of the Indiana Omni ballot. I will be using JAWS for Windows as well as Google Chrome, but I think it's important to note that this software has been tested with over 90 combinations of different screen readers and browsers. So you can use whatever assistive technology and devices make you feel most comfortable. So for example, for screen readers, that might mean Narrator or NVDA, VoiceOver, and for browsers, it could mean Google Chrome, Safari, Edge, again, whatever your preference. As I'm going through this demo, you'll be able to see my screen and also hear my JAWS speaking aloud, and I'll describe exactly how I'm navigating through each part of the process, what keystrokes I'm using, etc. Without further ado, let's get started.
Leaving menus. Welcome. Demo Google Chrome. Welcome. Demo Google Chrome. Heading level 1. Welcome. Demo.
All right, so here we're on the welcome page. So I'm going to down arrow so you can hear what this part of the process looks like. This is going to be kind of your standard welcome page with some instructions on how to get started.
Your county election officials have shared this website with you because you are a voter with print disabilities that has filed an ABS-VPD form with their office and requested an absentee ballot be sent to you by email. This online tool is designed to assist you with marking your ballot and returning it to your county election official for processing. Please click Continue to accept our terms of use and log into the accessible voting portal with your credentials. Only voters with appropriate credentials issued by their county election official can access this balloting tool. If you have reached this page in error, or have questions about your accessible online absentee ballot, please contact your county election administrator. Continue to accept terms of use button.
Okay, so we're going to press spacebar on that button to move forward.
Main region. Welcome voters. Heading level 1.
Again, you're going to have that heading announcing what part of the process you're on for filling out your ballot and continuing on with the process. So we're going to down arrow here once again for instructions.
This site is provided to eligible Indiana voters with print disabilities to ensure you have a secure and accessible solution to complete and return your absentee ballot and materials. You have been given credentials from your county election administrator to access this site, which will allow you to mark, review, and save or print your marked absentee ballot and the ballot secrecy waiver ABS 25 to return by email to county election officials. Please review the statements below and certify that they are true before proceeding to the accessible version of your absentee ballot. List of 5 items. Bullet: I declare that I am a voter with print disabilities, which is defined in state law as an individual who is unable to independently mark a paper ballot or ballot card due to blindness, low vision, or a physical disability that impairs manual dexterity. IC 35250.3. Bullet: I have completed an ABS-VPD form and filed it with my county election board to request an absentee ballot be delivered to me by email. This form has been approved by county officials, which allows me to access this website to complete and return my absentee ballot by email to my county election official. Blank. Bullet: I understand that my selections marked by this system to complete my absentee ballot and the ABS 25 secrecy waiver must be returned to my county election administrator using the email address provided to me by the county election administrator. Bullet: I understand that my absentee ballot, once received by my county election board, may not be replaced unless I follow procedures to request a replacement ballot through my county election board. Bullet: I understand that my absentee ballot must be received by the county election board not later than 6 p.m. prevailing local time on election day to be counted. List end. I certify that all of the above are true. Checkbox not checked.
Okay, so we're going to check that box.
I certify that all of the above are true. Checkbox checked.
Now that that's checked, we'll continue to down arrow.
I certify that all of the above are true. Continue button.
And press space to continue.
Continue button. Voter lookup document.
Okay, now we're on the voter lookup page, so we'll down arrow here.
Please fill in the fields below to find your absentee ballot. Your name, birthday, and county must exactly match your current voter registration. If you are having issues, please contact your county election official. First name, edit,
I'm going to enter into this edit box,
forms mode on,
and I'm going to type in sample, tab.
sample, last name edit,
I'm going to type in voter, tab.
voter, month combo box, month,
There's our birth month. It's a combo box. I'm going to down arrow to 1,
1,
tab.
day combo box, day,
Again, I'm going to down arrow to 1, so that's January 1st so far.
1,
Tab once more.
year combo box, year,
I'm going to down arrow to 1999.
2000, 1999.
And tab again.
County required combo box.
All right, here we have our county options. So I'll scroll down to let you hear some of these.
Adams, Allen, Bartholomew, Benton, Blackford, Boone, Brown, Carroll.
All right, let's select Carroll. So I'm going to tab out of that combo box to select it.
Forms mode off, continue button.
And I'm going to press space to continue now that we've filled out all of these required fields.
Please select the county you are registered in to vote. Searching button.
Searching, just so you can see what that looks like. So it can pull up the appropriate next step.
Voters Bill of Rights document.
All right, so now we have the Voters Bill of Rights. Bear with me, this is going to be quite a bit of text, but it's definitely worth the read so you can be prepared as to what you can expect. All right, so again, we're going to be down arrowing here.
The Absentee Voters Bill of Rights. Used for voters with print disabilities requesting an emailed accessible ballot only. Last revised January 2023, Indiana Code 3111025G. Instructions. This form is included as part of the remote accessible ballot voting system used by voters with print disabilities requesting a ballot by email. For military and overseas voters, please use the Move information sheet. Fellow voter, every voter casting an absentee ballot has the following rights and responsibilities as part of absentee voting. You have indicated that you are a voter with print disabilities, which means you are an individual who is unable to independently mark a paper ballot or ballot card due to blindness, low vision, or physical disability that impairs manual dexterity. You have submitted an ABS-VPD application and have requested an absentee ballot sent to you by email using the online accessible voting tool. You have the right to mark your absentee ballot secretly without anyone else being present when you mark the ballot. You have the right to mark your ballot without anyone engaging in electioneering in your presence if that person knows that you have an unmarked absentee ballot. Electioneering means expressing support or opposition to a candidate, a political party, or public question. However, your spouse, a member of your household, or your guardian, if you are incapacitated, may express this support or opposition to you without violating the electioneering law. It is a violation of federal law and Indiana law for anyone to attempt to force you to mark your absentee ballot in any particular way. It is a violation of Indiana law for a person to pay or offer to pay an individual for casting an absentee ballot, and a violation of Indiana law for a person to accept any payment or property for casting an absentee ballot. You have the right to request a replacement ballot. Please contact your county election board at the number provided on the bottom of this form and ask for an ABS-5 affidavit or statement concerning defective, lost, destroyed, or spoiled absentee ballot. After you mark your absentee ballot using the online accessible balloting tool, you will be prompted to affix your signature on the screen. This screen will include language that confirms you meet the qualifications to vote and return an absentee ballot by email, and you understand your right to secret ballot is being waived by returning the absentee ballot by email to your county election official. The county election board makes every effort to maintain your right to secret ballot. However, downloading and printing an emailed absentee ballot may unintentionally result in an official seeing how you marked your Ballot before Election Day. The affixed signature will be added to the Apps 25 secrecy waiver form that is included in your return package to be downloaded and returned to county officials. Failure to sign the Apps 25 secrecy waiver in a manner that does not match the most recent signature contained in your voter registration record is grounds for rejection of your ballot. If your Apps 25 form is flagged for a failure to sign the voter's affidavit or because of a mismatched signature, you will be notified by the county election board and will be given an opportunity to cure this problem. The cure process will require you to complete and sign an affidavit, either the Apps 18 or the Apps 18B, stating that the voted absentee ballot you returned was indeed your ballot. The signature on the affidavit will then be compared with the most recent signature on your voter registration record. You will have until noon local prevailing time, 8 days after Election Day, to submit the affidavit to your county election official by mail, hand delivery, fax, or email. The cure procedure can be reviewed in its entirety on IndianaVoters.com. After you have completed your absentee ballot and Apps 25 secrecy waiver, you must return both items by email to the county election board not later than 6 p.m. local prevailing time on Election Day in order for your ballot to be counted. If you think that a violation of Indiana election law has occurred, contact your county election board immediately at the telephone number or mailing address below to provide all the information you have about this violation. You may also contact your county prosecuting attorney's office, the Indiana State Police Bureau of Criminal Investigation, at 317-232-4338, or the Indiana Election Division of the Office of the Secretary of State at 800-622-4941. The county prosecuting attorney and Indiana State Police can investigate election crimes. The Election Division is not a law enforcement agency but can provide you with information about Indiana election laws and refer you to law enforcement agencies. Thank you again for exercising your right to vote. Carroll County Election Board. Phone number 76556444485. Email address clerk@carrollcounty.us. Go back button. Continue button.
Okay, we're going to press space to continue on.
Voters' Bill of Rights document.
Loading here.
Link skip to content. Main menu, head, select an election, heading level 1.
All right, here we're going to just select our demo election to move on to see our ballot.
Please select an election from the list below. Select button.
Okay.
Main region, ballot marking, heading level 1.
All right, and here we have an official demo ballot. So just as before, you're going to have that helpful heading at the top that's announcing exactly what part of the process you're on, so there's no confusion. So in this case, it says ballot marking. Underneath that, and this goes for every part of the process and every page that you'll come across, you'll find that set of instructions associated with the particular page.
Your ballot is presented below. To mark your selection, click on the checkbox. To remove a selection, click on the checkbox again. To vote for a qualified write-in candidate who is not listed on the ballot, click the checkbox beside the write-in space at the end of the candidate list. Then type the candidate's name in the space. Heading level 2 official ballot.
Okay, so we're going to navigate using headings, and as a JAWS user, I like to use H as my shortcut to get there. So H for headings.
For U.S. Senator, heading level 3.
And we have our contest name, followed by
vote for not more than one.
The instructions.
Group start for U.S. Senator. 3 checkboxes.
And the options for this contest that we may choose to select.
Santa Claus checkbox not checked. Ebenezer Scrooge checkbox not checked. Write-in checkbox not checked.
Okay, I'm going to up arrow and select Santa.
Santa Claus checkbox not checked. For U.S. Senator group, Santa Claus checkbox checked.
So after I press space, you may have noticed that it repeats back the contest that you're making a selection for, so there's no doubt in your mind what you have chosen. All right, so H for the next heading and next contest, now that we've made the selection for the first one.
For Representative to Congress heading level 3.
Down arrow.
Vote for not more than one. Group start for Representative to Congress. 4 checkboxes. Amelia Earhart checkbox not checked. Charles Chuck Eager checkbox not checked. Charles Lindbergh checkbox not checked. Write-in checkbox not checked.
All right, I'm going to up arrow and select Amelia.
Amelia Earhart checkbox not checked. For Representative to Congress Group, Amelia Earhart checkbox checked.
Okay, next contest and next heading.
City Council heading level 3.
Down arrow.
Vote for not more than 2. Group start City Council.
So you'll notice that that set of instructions was a bit different and that it's asking you to vote for 2 candidates instead of the one that we've done previously. So what I'm going to do here is make an intentional mistake. It happens to all voters. Sometimes we're not looking at the instructions as carefully as we may have liked. So I'm only going to select 1 candidate instead of 2, so you can see what that looks like during the review process.
5 checkboxes.
Okay, so here are our options.
Johnny Cash checkbox not checked. Elvis Presley checkbox not checked. Dolly Parton checkbox not checked. Write-in, 1 of 2 checkbox not checked.
All right, I'm going to up arrow and select Elvis.
Elvis Presley checkbox not City Council Group. Elvis Presley checkbox checked.
And again, keep that in mind. I'm only selecting 1 candidate instead of 2 here. Okay, next heading and next contest.
For City Waste Director heading level 3.
Down arrow.
Vote for not more than 1. Group start for City Waste Director. 2 checkboxes. Dr. William McDougall checkbox not checked. Write-in checkbox not checked.
Here I'm going to demonstrate a write-in candidate, so I'm going to check that box.
For City Waste Director Group, write-in checkbox not checked. Checked.
And if you down arrow underneath that,
Write-in. Edit.
an edit box has now appeared. So I'm going to enter
Forms
into
mode
that.
on.
And as I usually do, I'm going to nominate our wonderful CEO, Brian Finney, as our write-in candidate here.
Brian.
Okay, so
Forms
if we
mode.
were to escape out of the edit box, just to again show you what that looks like now that it has been filled in.
Write-in. Write-in checkbox checked.
That write-in candidate box is checked, and then underneath that,
Write-in. Edit Brian Finney.
you have your write-in candidate in that edit box. So that's all that's needed if you would like to fill in a write-in candidate. Okay, next contest and heading, we have
Article 1 heading level 3.
and then down arrow.
Vote yes or no. Shall Chapter I, Section 103 of the Votersville City Charter be hereby amended as follows. Chapter 1. Incorporation and General Provisions Sec. 103. Wards. Established. There shall be 3 wards for the city of Votersville, and the boundaries of the wards shall be fixed from time to time by the Board of Civil Authority subject to the approval of the City Council. The boundaries shall be fixed so as to provide equal or near equal distribution of population among the 3 wards in accordance with the most recent federal census. Group start Article 1. 2 checkboxes. Yes checkbox not checked. No checkbox not checked.
Okay, so we're going to up arrow and select yes.
Yes checkbox not checked. Article 1 group. Yes checkbox checked.
Okay, continue to down arrow.
No checkbox not checked. Group end Article 1. Go back button. Continue button.
And that was our last contest, so we're going to press space to continue.
Selection review heading level 1.
And here, as that, again, that top heading so helpfully announced, we are on the selection review part of the process. So we can down arrow here to hear our instructions.
Your ballot choices are shown below. To change any selection, click the Change button next to your selection. Heading Level 2 Official Ballot.
Once again, this has been organized into headings, just like the ballot itself. So we just have to use that H key to navigate between each contest.
For U.S. Senator heading Level 3.
There's our contest name.
Santa Claus.
our selection,
Change for U.S. Senator button.
and the change button associated with that particular contest. So again, next.
For Representative to Congress heading level 3, Amelia Earhart. Change for Representative to Congress button.
Next contest to review.
City Council heading level 3,
Pay close attention to this one.
Elvis Presley. Warning, missing one of 2 selections.
So that is that intentional error that I made before when we were initially marking the ballot. As you can see, it's prompting you to go back and change the selection and add an additional candidate if you so choose. Sometimes you may only have meant to select one candidate. That's perfectly acceptable. You can move past this error message and go about your review process. But let's say it was a mistake. This is kind of your safety net to tell you that there was an issue, so you can go back and change that. So we are going to act as if it was a mistake on our part and make a change. So we're going to down arrow.
Change City Council button.
To that change button for this contest.
City Council heading level 3, main region. City Council heading level 3.
Okay, it's going to bring you to this exact contest on the ballot. So there's no trying to find it elsewhere. We're going to down arrow.
Vote for not more than 2.
So that way you can hear the instructions that you may have missed previously. And then the options are going to present the same.
Group Start City Council. 5 checkboxes. Johnny Cash checkbox not checked. Elvis Presley checkbox checked.
You can see that Elvis is still checked, so you don't have to check him again if that was a selection you wanted to make.
Dolly Parton checkbox not checked.
And then we will check Dolly additionally.
City Council Group. Dolly Parton checkbox checked.
Okay, continue to down arrow.
Write-in. 1 of write-in. 2 of 2 checkbox Group and City Council. Go back to review page button.
So you'll press this button once you've made your additional selection or if you've made a change.
City Council heading level 3.
And it'll bring you back right to where you left off on the selection review process. So again, there's no guesswork here. If you down arrow,
Elvis Presley, Dolly Parton, change City Council button.
You'll see that this contest is now uniform with the rest and that error message has disappeared. You only have your selected candidates along with that change button if you'd like to make any additional changes. Okay, so now moving on with the review now that we've fixed that error.
For City Waste Director heading level 3.
Okay, there's our contest name once again, down arrow.
Write-in Brian Finney.
There we have our write-in candidate.
Change for City Waste Director button.
And the change button. And last heading.
Article 1 heading level 3.
Down arrow.
Yes. Change Article 1 button.
Continue to down arrow
Link
here.
skip to bottom.
Because we know that that's our last contest.
Go back button. Continue button.
And we're going to press space to continue.
Voter return information document.
All right, now we've come to the point where we're getting ready to return our ballot. So down arrow here.
Group Start. Please fill out the following information to continue. Note: providing an email address, a fax number, or mailing address will allow the county election board to send the voter confirmation that the county election board received the voter's absentee ballot. Voter's name required.
So each field is going to be marked whether or not it is required. Okay, so here you can see that your name as the voter, of course, is going to be required.
Required edit.
So we're going to enter
Forms
into that edit box, and I'm going to type in sample voter because that is our name for today's purposes.
Sample.
All right, escape out of the edit
Forms
box.
mode.
So then if we go up,
Voter's name. Required edit sample voter.
you can see that that is now in the edit box. We can move on with the form.
Voter's telephone number if available. Edit.
So you can type in your phone number, again, not required.
Example 55512345567.
Down arrow.
Voter's email address. Edit.
Again, not required, but I will put an email
Forms
in
mode.
here. Let's do voter,
blank.
voter
Voter.
at gmail.com.
Gmail.
All right.
Forms mode off.
So we have that email address in there, again, optional.
Edit voter at gmail.com.
Okay. down arrow,
Example, voter@email.com.
showing you an example like it did for the phone number. Continue to down arrow.
Voter's fax number.
There's a fax number,
Edit.
down arrow,
Example, 55512345667.
down arrow again.
Voter's mailing address. Street. Edit.
So you can choose to put in your mailing address. Again, this is optional, not required.
City. Edit. State. Edit. Zip code. Edit. Group N. Please fill out the following information to continue. Continue button.
All right, so we're going to continue. Again, there, the only thing that's required is your name as the voter.
Continue button. Signature heading level 1.
Okay, now that we've filled out that information, we've now arrived to the electronic signature portion of the process. So we'll down arrow here to hear the instructions.
Please sign your name in the space provided below. Warning. This signature will be used to verify your absentee ballot submission. If the county election board determines there is a mismatched or missing signature, then notice will be sent to your address where you are registered to vote. I also swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that list of 4 items. Bullet, I am a voter with print disabilities as defined by Indiana Code 35250.3, and bullet, I reside at the residence address on my absentee application. Bullet, I am entitled to vote in my current precinct or in the precinct where I formerly resided under IC 31010, IC 31011, or IC 31012 in the current election. And bullet, I have personally marked the enclosed absentee ballot. List end. I understand that by emailing my voted absentee ballot, I am voluntarily waiving my right to secret ballot. Click the sign button.
Okay, so we're going to press space to click to sign.
Signature pad dialog. Signature pad heading level 2.
Once we get to this heading, we're going to down arrow again.
Please use the text field below to enter your signature. Graphic. Sign above or type your name here. Edit.
So I'm going to enter into that edit box.
Forms mode on.
And type in our name again for today, which is Sample Voter.
Sample.
Okay, escape out
Forms
of that edit
mode off.
box. So again,
Sign above or type your name here. Edit sample voter.
you'll see Sample Voter in the edit box, and underneath that,
Reset button.
there's a reset button
Done button.
and a done button. So we're going to press done.
Link and sesh main region.
Give us a second, it's loading.
Signature heading level 1.
All right, so then if we were to go under
Please
here,
sign your name in the space provided.
it's going to show that same set of instructions. So we're going to bypass that just so you can see now what the signature looks like.
Warning. This sig and note, I also swear list of bullet bull and bull list. I understand the signature. Sample voter graphic.
Okay, so now again, it has brought you back to that set of instructions that we just read, only your signature is now presented below. Okay, so now that we have the signature input in, we can continue to down arrow.
Click the change signature button.
There's a click to change the signature if you're not comfortable with how it presents above.
Go back button.
There's a go back.
Continue button.
And there's a continue. So we're going to press space to continue.
Main region. Print and save your absentee ballot heading level 1.
Okay, here is one of the last steps of the process. So we're going to down arrow to hear the instructions.
Each voter using the accessible absentee balloting tool has 2 items to return to their county official by email not later than 6 p.m. on election day. List of 2 items. 1. Marked absentee ballot. 2. Abs 25 secrecy waiver. List end. Please follow the instructions on the next 2 screens to ensure your materials are correct. If one or both items are not returned to your county by this deadline, your absentee ballot will not be counted. Step 1. Click on the Print Selections button below to print or save your ballot selections. You must return your absentee ballot by email to your county election official. In order to return your absentee ballot by email, either list of 2 items. 1. Save your absentee ballot as an electronic format such as a PDF with your print options menu. 2. Print your absentee ballot and scan an electronic copy to your computer to return by email. List end. You must click the Print Selections button to move to the next screen. After you have saved or printed your absentee ballot, click the Continue button. Print Selections button.
Okay, so we're going to press that button.
Print Selections button. Print Preview dialog. Print Preview dialog. Save button.
Okay, and here is your option to either save or print. I personally save my my selections as a PDF so that I can print them out later, someone who does not have access to a printer currently. So I'm going to press space to save.
Save as dialog. File name.
And then just as you would with saving a regular file, it's going to bring up your folders and your options of where you would like to save. So you would just select where you want to keep it.
Confirm save as dialog. No button. Alt+N. Yes button. Alt. Print and save your apps.
All right. And again, I had a file. I had done this before. I had a file with the same name. You would usually not come across that. But you would rename the file as you so choose or leave it as is and then move on.
Go back button.
There's a go back button.
Continue button.
And a continue button now that we've saved this part of the process.
Apps 25 secrecy waiver. Heading level 1 Apps 25 secrecy waiver.
Okay, so now that our ballot has been successfully downloaded, we have this next piece to take care of. So we'll down arrow here.
State law requires a voter returning their absentee ballot by email to sign and return a form to waive their right to secret ballot. While every attempt is made to protect your right to secret ballot, it is possible that a county election official will view your selections when printing the marked absentee ballot to secure for counting on election day. Your contact information and signature provided on the previous screen is used to complete the form. The Apps 25 must be received by your county election official not later than 6 p.m. on election day in order for your absentee ballot to be counted. Step 2. Click on the Apps 25 secrecy waiver button below to print or save your Apps 25 form, which must be included with your absentee ballot in order to return your Apps 25 by email either. List of 2 items. 1. Save your Apps 25 as an electronic format such as a PDF with your printer options menu. 2. Print your Apps 25 and scan an electronic copy to your computer to return by email. List end. The Apps 25 includes contact information for your county election official, including the email address to return your absentee ballot and Apps 25 form. After your Apps 25 finishes saving or printing, click the Continue button. Apps 25 secrecy waiver button.
Okay, so we're going to download this form.
Alert, downloading 418 KB demo package 2. Alert, download complete. Demo package 2. PDF. Press.
Okay, so in my case, that I would swoop that up from my downloads and I would have access to that file. Again, it depends on how your settings are configured, but that is the next piece that you must complete.
Go back button.
Then there's a go back button.
Continue button.
And a continue once you've saved or printed that paperwork.
You are about to complete your session heading level 1. Main region. You are about to complete your session heading level 1.
Okay, down arrow.
If you would like to return to your absentee ballot selections, signature, or return information to make any corrections, please use the back button now. By clicking the End Session button below, you will clear your session and no longer be able to go back to make changes to your absentee ballot, signature, or return information. Go back button. End session button.
Okay, we're going to press space on End Session.
Thank you heading level 1.
And we have our thank you message here. We'll down arrow to hear that.
Your session has been closed and your absentee ballot selections have been cleared. Please email your absentee ballot and the Apps 25 form to your county election official. The email address is provided on the Apps 25 form. If you have questions regarding your absentee ballot, please contact your Linn County Election Administrator, Hoosier voters can also track their absentee ballot information, including when your absentee application and absentee ballot are received by county officials. At IndianaVoters.com. Main region end.
All right.
Screen sharing meeting.
That is the process from start to finish. Again, very straightforward, very easy to use, and it is customized to whatever assistive technology you feel the most comfortable with as a voter, so that you can vote privately and independently from the comfort of your home. Thank you so much again for listening to our demo today, and happy voting.